Hey guys, thanks for responding to our original post for shooting apartment footage for us. We welcome all the new shooters as well as our veterans who might be watching. Our hopes are that you become an ace shooter for us and our clients so that we can give you as many jobs possible in your area. It's important to understand this particular gig requires a specific look and feel that might be a little different than you're used to. I know some of you might be thinking, this gig sounds pretty easy, and you've been shooting video for a long time and for lots of well-known clients. We're certainly glad if you have some skins on your wall. It will definitely make communicating with you a lot easier. It's true though, these shoots are not hard if you have the right gear and have the ability to get sharp, smooth pans and tilts. Now, a shot sheet will be sent to you and the property manager. Print this sheet and have the property person confirm the 5 amenities they want shot and the model apartment they also want shot. Note if the model is a 1, 2, or 3 bedroom and if it's furnished or empty. Then use this shot sheet to check off your shots along the way. Any obstacles, special requests, or issues, please note this as well so we can relay any information to our client if necessary and include it when uploading your footage. And his name?
Mr. Cameraman.
When you're out on a shoot, constantly ask yourself, what would the property manager want to show prospects? And what would they not want to show? Dressing your shot so everything looks clean and organized is part of what they want from us. If you notice things like pillow tags sticking out, toilet seats are up, dining room chairs and bathroom towels and mats are crooked, please take the time to stage your shots so they look appealing. All blinds should be open, all lights should be turned on, including the stove light, as well as the TV and all ceiling fans. Turn on all faucets in the bathroom and kitchen to a medium flow. We want to see bright rooms with as much motion as possible. All of your shots should be wide. Our client wants to show the size of each room opposed to a close-up of the items inside the rooms. This means shots of a master bedroom should be shot from the door, panning left and right, tilting up and down, showing the ceiling fan on. Then from a corner inside the room, panning and tilting, showing the closet and bathroom. Following this formula for all rooms will ensure we have multiple wide shots of each room. Most living rooms offer several angles to show many apartment features, like the kitchen, dining room, patio, and sometimes laundry room and a view into the bedroom. Be sure to get multiple angles, including from the patio, shooting towards the living room, kitchen, and dining room, one from the dining room, one from the kitchen, etc. So we can match your shots with the script when talking about these areas. Many times you won't have to shoot just the dining room because you covered it in all of your wide shots. Kitchens are a big feature, so getting wide shots both panning and tilting with the water turned on will really look good. If the rooms are small and your lens isn't wide enough to show the floor and ceiling fan, place your tripod outside the door and shoot a slow tilt up and down with the door frame in your shot. Then peek your camera off to the left or right of the door frame and get some slow pans left and right there as well. Sometimes you can get inside a closet or the bathtub to get far enough back to get a wide tilt or pan of a small room. And having an object in the foreground to get a good wide shot angle of a room, that's okay. Like the edge of a kitchen counter, sliding or panning past a door frame, or the patio's sliding glass door. It shows depth and perspective, which really looks good. So get creative with small rooms to get the widest angle shots possible. Now, when I say wide angle, I don't mean ultra wide angle that causes fisheye. Typically on a full frame camera, you're gonna not wanna go below 16 millimeters. And with a crop sensor, you don't wanna go below 10 or 11. In addition to shooting wide angles, the following 6 things are what we look for when reviewing your footage. Number 1, pre and post roll. Each delivered clip should have 5 seconds of roll time before and after the move. If you do what a lot of shooters do, which is roll 5, make a slow pan to the right, and then hold for 5. Then go back the other direction, pan left, hit your landing, hold for 5, then cut. You can get 2 pans in one clip. This method is efficient for both you and our editors. Tripod or slider moves. We tell you to shoot smooth moves when we recruit you, and there might be a disconnect between what is smooth and what is not, because we see a lot of moves that just aren't working for us. Some of you are doing a really great job, and we appreciate your attention to ensuring your moves are fluid. In fact, we're using some of your footage in this video to show everyone what fluid moves really look like. You should get used to counting 10 to 12 seconds in your head once you start your move. Here's a clip that shows the speed and smoothness that we're looking for. Notice the speed and smoothness. You will realize the importance of having a good tripod with a head that has good drag resistance. If your tripod rig can't produce moves like this, either get a new head or send it in for maintenance so you can feel more comfortable about your moves. Here's a tip from a shooter in the UK.
Here is one of the most important tools you can have if you are doing any sort of video which needs smooth panning or tracking, all that kind of stuff. The toys which I use, I've also got a heavy duty video tripod. I've got the glide track system it's the hybrid system that I've got, so it rolls very smoothly. So that's all about getting the smoothness. However, there's one major flaw in all this gear, and that is me. The only place that shakes or vibrations can come from now is me. And it's not so much shakes or vibrations, it's also just if you are inconstant with your motion. So if you kind of go a little bit fast, a little bit slow, a little bit fast, a little bit slow, and you don't get it smooth with the speed, then there's one super duper mega important tool which you should always have. Every photographer or videographer should have in their bag with them at all times. And the best thing is, it's free. And it's already here. If you can't see it, that's because you're not looking hard enough. Because what I always have is a little rubber band. So, I effectively never hold my tripod or my camera whenever I'm doing any shoots. I always pull with a little rubber band which the postman will drop off whenever he's dropping off some letters. So for example, in this property here, turn it on. Whenever I'm shooting the video, like I won't patronize you and say, oh my god, it's the most biggest difference ever, it's so important. But if you do a lot of video, you will, and you need slow, consistent moving. Yes, this is a vital thing to have all the time. And whenever I get out of the car and if I do up rubber band, I'm like, oh no, I'm going to do so much more editing afterwards. But so if I were to record this, and if I do it with my hand, I would say I'm pretty damn good at this. However, when I'm doing it with my hand, I can feel bits which are a little bit faster or a little bit slower, and maybe then I try and speed up, or I try to slow down, and it becomes a nightmare. So better is just having the rubber band and pulling it very gently there. It also gives you a smoother start, I think. And never try and touch the end. And that way, The rubber band takes out any kind of reaction that you have to any resistance that is in the track or the system that you're using. And it's not just with tracking as well. So if I were to do a panning shot, I would loosen this bit, tighten that bit, and just bring the rubber band up to the back here and get the camera so it's in the right position, and I would just track or do a pan with the rubber band. And you can never go slow enough is what I would always say. Whenever you're shooting video, do it as slow as you can, because you can always speed it up, and also the slower you do it, the less likely there's going to be vibrations or inaccuracies in your speed. And a rubber band is the most important thing you can have.
If we see moves that are too fast or jerky, don't have a target landing, pan and tilt at the same time, or fail to give us multiple move options per area, we're in a bind, and the client won't be pleased with their video. Here are some examples of some unacceptable moves.
So what do you mean to do when there's a mirror like this?
I hope you now see what we're looking for, and specifically what we're not looking for. If you can't perform smooth moves like we need, this might not be the gig for you. And if that's the case, please let us know up front so we don't waste your time, and our customers' time. Number 3, focus. If you're focusing using autofocus and things go in and out of focus during a move, that's not acceptable to our client. If your shots are just soft overall, it doesn't represent the HD video product we provide, and as a result, it'll get kicked back for a reshoot. So please make sure you can see your LCD monitor and double check your focus. Using a hood will help with outdoor shots when the sun is washing out your display. We're looking for infinite focus. So everything close to the camera and far from the camera is all in focus. Shallow depth of field is not going to work for this gig. Number 4, exposure. This is the difficult one when you've got DSLRs, camcorders, full frame and crop frame sensors, combined with all the different lighting conditions for exteriors, amenities, and model units. All I'm gonna say in this video is know your camera and make sure you use an ND and/or polarization filter for exteriors to shade your lens from the sun and reflections. Don't use the cheap ones either, as they tend to produce blur and distortion. Expose your indoor shots for what's inside, and don't worry about if the windows are blown out. As long as everything inside looks clean and exposed well, then you're good. Number 5, image quality. Each camera produces a degree of image quality. Typically camcorders using P2 cameras, Sony EX3s, and ones with MPEG-2 as the capture codec can show a green or pink line on the edges of things. And overall, camcorder footage, even at 1080p, can look less sharp than a DSLR, especially if the camcorder is over 5 years old. As of right now, we're asking you guys to test shooting in 60p. Some cameras, however, produce a moire pattern that looks really bad. So see if your camera can shoot good quality without seeing the moire. If your camera does show the moire, then go back to shooting in 30p. If your camera can produce good images at 60 frames a second, 720p is good enough. We tested this with a couple shooters, and the difference is pretty significant in how the footage looks more lively, plus when we need to slow the speed down in post, it looks much better. So 1080p or 720 progressive at 60 frames a second is now acceptable, if you don't have the moire. 30p is still acceptable. I want to mention something important when delivering your footage. Please don't take your raw footage into your NLE and export one big video file, or even individual clips re-encoded to a smaller size. This loses image quality and it wastes time for you and for us. If you don't know how to extract the raw files from your camera, please let us know and we can show you. It's pretty easy. Finally, number 6, lens spots. This might sound silly and a no-brainer to some, but we see lens spots all the time. And because it's avoidable, it becomes extra frustrating. Your lens is exposed to all sorts of indoor and outdoor dust particles, and since they are almost invisible to the naked eye, you must always assume you have dust on your lens after shooting outside, especially in the swimming pool. It's good practice to clean your lens right before your first shoot to start off clean, then after your exterior shots right before shooting indoors, and maybe one more time when you think it's appropriate. So, those are the 6 things we consider when reviewing your footage and giving you feedback. And we will give you feedback at some point, both good and bad, just so you know where you stand with us. Once you've got it down, lock it in and you'll be good to go. Trust me, we want you to be the shooter in your area, and we're willing to make the investment in time to get you where you need to be. Remember, your footage must be delivered within 24 hours of the shoot date. If your shoot was at 10 a.m., we need it by 10 a.m. the next day. Our turnaround time for the completed video is 5 days from the shoot date. Once the footage is delivered, our scriptwriters write a script based on what you shot, then it gets voiced, and finally onto editing. So now you can see why we're chomping at the bit to get the footage as soon as possible. Most folks upload their clips right when they get back, or that night while they're sleeping. Also, if your shoot gets rescheduled, let us handle the communication with the property. Just let us know if you arrive and they tell you they're not ready or they didn't want a shoot yet until something gets fixed, landscaping completed, or even weather issues. This is rare, but if it happens to you and you're asked, just tell them someone will be contacting them to reschedule within the next couple of days. Now, don't leave until you call us. It's crucial that you call your scheduler while you're still there to let us know what's going on. If your scheduler doesn't answer, leave a brief message and then call Mark Roos. If Mark is unavailable, send an email to videoshoot@bettervideo.com describing the issue and the name of the property rep. We can't have you guys rescheduling directly with the property. I know it seems to make better sense for you to do this, but it makes our client upset. Since a cancellation fee may apply, they are the ones who want to investigate why the property wasn't ready. Feel free to contact me directly regarding this video or anything technical with questions or concerns, and I'll be happy to help you in any way I can. Mark Roos handles all of the recruiting and shooter feedback for us, and he is the other person who can help you when I'm unavailable. We also have a couple other post-production folks who review footage daily and publish internal notes on issues and accolades for all delivered footage. Be sure to check the shooter page every month or so. You'll see completed videos that have your footage combined with the voiceover and music, along with some other good information that will help you on your shoots. Thanks for giving me your most valuable possession, guys, your time. Look forward to seeing your footage, and we'll talk to you later.